for you for a long time, and you finally clicked on this video. Well done. I'm a program from the future, sent into your consciousness to prevent you from making the same mistakes that you're about to make. I'm not a living person. I'm just a concept, a message. On the other side of the screen, it's 2084. You're in the hospital, on the brink of death. Day in, day out, you see the same off-white walls. You hear the incessant beeping of machines keeping alive people in the same state as you. You feel the vibrations of the floor when stretchers are pushed down the corridor near your room. It's almost the end, you know it. All you have left are your dreams and your memories. You spend the little time you have left replaying them over and over in your head. In this situation, your ego has vanished. Terrified of death, it left you. And then, you began to see clearly. By playing back the movie of your life, you realized how much of a failure it was, how much you wasted it and barely tapped into its potential. But you remembered that it wasn't always like this. You remember that at one point, you were awake, alive. But, seeking a fleeting and illusory pseudo-stability, lulled by comfort, you ended up dozing off like everyone else. All those you despise today know that, on the other side of the screen, you've become just like them. So, at your request, I was sent into your past mind in the form of a YouTube video. Like a coincidence, I was sent at the last moment you remember having balls, just before you fell asleep. And here you are. Nice to meet you. Here's the message I have to deliver to you. There is nothing that you cannot be, do, or have. You are only limited by your shiny object syndrome, the untrue belief that the world is stable, and the illusion that right and wrong exists. You are confused, so let me explain. What is shiny object syndrome and how did it defeat your potential? The magpie is hypnotized by every shiny object it sees. Until it steals it, it can think of nothing else. And this will continue until the next shiny object. Similarly, humans have a tendency to think that the grass is greener on the other side, that we are missing a technique, a piece of information, a tip, an essential routine to succeed, that the path we are may not be the right one, a mostly unconscious swing between FOMO, the fear of missing out, and FUD, the fear of making a bad decision. The consequence of the shiny object syndrome is a total defocus, which is a pure waste in the most literal sense, when we know that the secret of success lies precisely in focus and obsession. The shiny object syndrome prevented you from realizing that you were falling asleep. You could have become anything, and you became a magpie. What does untrue belief that the world is stable mean? Even though you know that the world is not stable, you don't really believe it. You know that everything could change overnight. An accident, health problem, a war, you know it, but you don't really believe it. And when you do, you numb yourself as quickly as possible, or reassure yourself by saying that it won't happen to you, not like this, not now. Deep down, you never really think about your death, and the consequence is that you live as if you were never going to die. And since you're never going to die, why risk losing everything? Why take risks? You might as well take them tomorrow. This is what put you to sleep. You are getting closer to death every moment, and will take nothing to the grave. Not your money, not your family, not your memories. 100 years after your death, no one will remember your time on Earth. Unless you become precisely a legend. 500 years after his death, everyone remembers Leonardo da Vinci. But for that, you need to wake up. The Buddhist doctrine revolves around this truth. Buddha, the sublime and perfect being, made the impermanence of things the central point of his teachings. How is it negative to believe that right and wrong exists? Neither absolute good or bad exists. Believing otherwise is the cement of our societies. But when one seeks to express one's full potential, to wake up, this belief is one of the last obstacles. It is very insidious, as it insinuates in our mind that there are good paths, those of good. For example, the one that society encourages you to follow. Get an education, a degree, take out a loan, pay taxes, etc. To strive to adhere to this norm is implicitly to believe that there would be, by opposition, bad paths, such as a life of adventure, a life of volunteer, a life of a failed entrepreneur. This belief is what prevented you from waking up. But is this really the truth?